Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to our City Council meeting with an executive session, April 7th, 2026 at 7 p.m. I hereby call this meeting to order. If you wish to speak during the public comment portion of the meeting, please complete a request to speak card located on the sign in table and turn it into our city clerk prior to the public meeting comment time. If you are attending by Zoom, please use the raise your hand option during public comment. It is recommended that you seek resolution of a complaint through the appropriate city department by scheduling a meeting with a city council member or city staff before bringing the matter to the city council. The time limit for presentations will be 10 minutes if we have prearranged presentations. All right, we'll stand and do the flag salute, the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll do a roll call of our council.
Councilor Baumgartner?
Here.
Councilor Cuevas?
Here.
Councilor Pettigrew?
She heard us.
She's waving on Zoom. Councilor Rockwell?
Here, sorry. Here.
And Councilor Prophet?
So she called in, she would either be here or not be here. She notified us, so she will be excused. We do have a quorum, so we can move on. We'll go to approval of minutes, City Council Workshop, March 3, 2026.
I move to approve the City Council Workshop meeting minutes, March 3rd, 2026, as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Our lips move. City Council meeting, March 3rd, 2026.
I move to approve the city council meeting minutes, March 3rd, 2026, as presented.
Second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? City Council Workshop, March 21st, 2026.
I move to approve the City Council Workshop meeting minutes, March 21st, 2026, as presented.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to the financial report, February 2026. Marked.
Mr. Mayor, there's Brenda, by the way.
Oh, we'll add Brenda to our meeting.
In the month of February, as I mentioned in our notes, there are some payments that we receive quarterly. A lot of entities mail them like on the last day of January, so then we end up receiving them the first part of February. That's why that timing is off. Thank you. That's why that timing is off, because of just snail mail when we receive those. But they're for the Q4 of 2025. And we received in the first part of February, like our franchise fees. And I wanted to point out one new one that we received in the street fund. You notice I mentioned we received approximately $71,500 from the federal fund exchange program. I just want to make sure you understand that that did not come from the federal government. It's actually federal funds that the state receives. And so they swap it for state funds with us so that we don't have to do follow all the red tape that the feds have. And the state uses the federal funds and they follow all of the red tape. So it's just kind of a swapping of the funds. So we receive that from the state, but that's just the name of the program that they use to do that exchange. I just wanted to clarify that and make that clear for everyone. Other than that, it was pretty normal month. As you saw, we didn't have hardly any of the capital project payments come out. That's because they're kind of all wrapping up. And so we're waiting a lot for the final reviews from the engineers, the final sign off. So in the next month or so, we'll be having some final payments like for South Main Street project. But in the month of February, we didn't have much activity there.
Is there any questions for Marta concerning the financials? Mrs. Pettigrew, do you have any questions concerning the financials?
No, I think I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hearing no other questions about the financials, thank you. Moving on to public comment, prearranged presentation, Morrow County Schools. All right, ladies, looks like you are up.
Hello, City Council. This is a peek of what is going on with the wolves. At Windy River, we have opened our Scholastic Book Fair, where students at school have the chance to go down to the library, buy a book, and start another book journey or buy some fun trinkets. We also just ended our wax museum. In our wax museum, we pick a historical figure and learn about them. Then, at the end of this time, we dress up and give a speech as them. In this activity, teachers will pick students who they have seen putting in their all and trying their best to do Spotlight. During Spotlight, students, teachers, and parents all gather in the gym and watch and support them and all of their hard work.
ODE visits. The Oregon Department of Education representatives Angie Gunther visited Windy River Elementary to observe our foundational reading program in action. It was a wonderful opportunity to showcase the strong work of our staff and students. We are proud to share that Angie described the work happening at Windy River Elementary as impressive. Our foundational reading program continues to go strong. Quarter 3 Rise Wolf Awards. Our teachers pick 2 of the most positive students in their class. Over the quarter, they see who has been working the hardest and trying their best. We have a big assembly and they get a certificate that they can keep for all the years to come. And they get their picture on a board in a hallway. Parents are allowed to come and support their kids. Paul Prize Extravaganza. Mr. Scheller pulls tickets for prizes. The teachers count up how many iReady lessons the students pass, and they get a ticket. Kids can win many tickets, and if their ticket is pulled, they can get a prize. They can also get tickets for their growth and effort.
That is all we have for today. Thank you for having us.
You bet. Good job. So if you haven't seen the Wax Museum, it's pretty impressive on the students who participate. They choose a figure, I guess what, they're not all historical, but they pick a historical figure or a person that they like, or could be, could be an athlete, but mostly is a historical figure. And then they research about it, and then they memorize all these facts about it. And then the fun part is they get to try to dress up as that historical figure or that figure that they are representing. And it's kind of cool to see all of that. But the impressive part, I thought, was the memorization piece that they put into for public speaking. And you walk around, and then it's almost like they don't do anything, and then you step on this little button or this little pad that's there, and that's their button, and then they come to life and they talk. It's kind of cool to be able to see them do that. So good job. So ladies, did you participate in the Wax Museum? You did? Who was your figure that you did?
I was Elizabeth Schuyler Hamilton.
And did you participate?
I did the poster, but I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. So, and it's an exciting time to be able to see it. So good job, ladies. Again, do any counselors have any comments or questions to our two students?
I would say the one thing I've noticed you've been here a lot. Okay. I don't know how many times you've been here, but you've been here a lot. And I would say from the first time that you spoke to now, it's night and day. Like you are very good at speaking now. It takes practice and it takes a lot of nerve to go up there and speak, and you're doing very good with it. Yep.
Good job, ladies. Anybody else? All righty. We'll do a youth advisory report.
Yeah, so we did have a couple high school students that were going to be able to come. It looks like they were not. We have a quick slideshow. So the Youth Advisory Committee did a survey, and it's in your packet. Just various questions they asked. I think it says there was a total of 88 responses, which was pretty cool. And it's just neat to see that they really are in line. There's a slide in there. I don't know if it's 1, 2, 3, where they're what kind of local business, and they're like, hey, we just want something new. And then they talk about the restaurants that they wanted. And they would like, what do they say? So they want a new restaurant. They really want entertainment, which I would love to see, some kind of bowling alley. And restaurants and fast food. And it just so happens, and I had a meeting with them, that we do have a Burger King coming in, and we are working hopefully towards getting another restaurant in town. So like they're right along with what we're trying to do as a city. It was just neat to see that their efforts that they put forward. But yeah, I think the food was what? The most Italian, Asian, and a fast food chain. So we'll see what happens in the next little bit. But anyway, we'll still continue to work towards getting the Youth Advisory Committee attending regularly.
Yeah, that's kind of exciting. If you know anything about the YAC or Youth Advisory Committee, it's a really cool thing if we can get that going with our high school students. They can, especially with the individuals who really are into that leadership role, to give them that. If they're not in the leadership role in the high school, due to popularity, most likely, but they can get into the YAC and really do some things on a state level.
And that really is the ultimate goal. You want to have the students see that their voice truly does matter. And at the local level, especially, you can have a huge impact. So again, just brand new. I've only met with them a couple times, but.
All right, we're down to our prearranged presentation, PATH, Intergovernmental Agreement, City of Umatilla.
Perfect. So we have Maricela Morales online. There's Maricela. Maricela, I will let you take it away. And first of all, was anyone not on the council when PATH was agreed? I know Karen was for sure.
I was.
You all were. Okay. All right. So I don't think, do we need a quick history of the PATH program? No? Okay. So Maricela, if you want to just give an update on the IGA, what you guys are looking at doing.
Sure. Thank you. Hi, council members. Like Brandon said, my name is Maricela Morales, Community Development Manager with the City of Umatilla. I'm here to provide an overview of the PATH IGA contract with the cities and county. So the contract is going to be retroactive. You are going to see it in your packet. If you go to page 20th of your packet, for fiscal year 25-26, the total budget was estimated to be $750,000. Every city has a proportionate share. So for the city of Boardman, since it's a smaller city, it's a 3%. So continuing on that, for 2027, the estimated budget is $780,705. So like I said, the Boardman share, it's going to be through 3%. Additionally, typically if we receive any funding from the state, from CAPCO, any other funding that's provided for the program, the share will be reduced yearly. So if you go to that, we do have a termination fee schedule. If you go to page 27, so the fee schedule decreases over time. So for 2026, if anybody, any partner decides that they don't want to be part of this partnership anymore and if they want to opt out, for Boardman, it would be a 6%, which is $32,040. For 2027, it's going to be a 26,700, and for 2028, it's going to be $21,360. So, like I said, we did send out an invoice for 2025 and 2026 since the contract is retroactive. And that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today. I don't know if you guys have any question regarding the IGA.
Does anybody have any questions regarding this IGA that she's talking about?
So again, the whole purpose of the PATH program is to help with homeless housing. It's just an amazing opportunity. We do not have the resources to do something like this in a small community. And I don't know, again, I was on the council, so this has been talked about for a long time about trying to do that. And then it's a regional concept. Again, we just have a very small portion that you have to pay, and we only pay it if we don't have the funds, correct, Maricela?
Correct, that's correct.
Yeah, we're saying worst case scenario, they've been having the funding, they assume it's going to come, but they have looked at maybe they want to build up the coffers. They want to do some expansions, they want to do other things. So prior to this IGA, which we'll present to the council in May to ratify it, we did not, as a city, have a seat at the table, and now we will have a voting membership with this. So, cool. Thanks, Maricela.
Thank you.
Yes.
So with Project Path, so understand that we have to provide some type of service as a community. And so we, again, as the city manager says, we don't have that capability right now. And to be able to rely on this partnership, we have been able to get people to the housing assistance that they need, and along with meals and stuff like that. So it is a good partnership.
Correct. It's something we need to do. Any other questions for the prearranged presentation or path? All right. We're at the part where we have our chamber BCDA report, March 2026. Was there anything to add to that?
Nope.
Nope, we all saw that in our packets. Moving on to action item resolution 8, 2026, a resolution rescinding resolution number 4, 2026, which adopted the City of Boardman Parks Master Plan. Mr. Hammond.
So all this is doing is we're changing the resolution to an ordinance. So we're rescinding that it was passed through a resolution, and we're going to pass it through an ordinance. That's all.
I move to approve Resolution 8-2026, a resolution rescinding Resolution number 4-2026, which adopted the City of Boardman Parks Master Plan.
Second that.
So we have a motion, a second. Any discussion? So basically, it's just a house cleaning.
House cleaning. Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Resolution 9, 2026, a resolution delegating to the city manager or designee authority to issue citations and exercise code enforcement powers.
So what that is again, as we're cleaning up the municipal code, as we're looking at trying to refine our code compliance, the enforcement section, we noticed there was a gap, and it would be good if I was able to help like write something, because right now it was very specific of who could write it. So we just needed to add some clarification to that.
I move to approve Resolution 9-2026, a resolution delegating to the city manager or designee authority to issue citations and exercise code enforcement powers.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion about this that anyone would like to have? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Moving on to action items, ordinances. Ordinance 5-2026, an ordinance adopting the City of Boardman Parks Master Plan.
So again, this is the now passing the park master plan through an ordinance.
I move to approve the reading by title only of ordinance 5-2026, an ordinance adopting the City of Boardman Parks Master Plan.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion of reading in the record? Go ahead, Mr. You have to read into record, right?
Can we get a vote, please?
Don't we have to?
We got a first and a second. I need a vote. And then
And then he reads it. Copy that. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Mr. Hammond.
Ordinance 5-2026, an ordinance adopting the City of Boardman Parks Master Plan.
I move to adopt ordinance 5-2026, an ordinance adopting the City of Boardman Parks Master Plan.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion about the adoption? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Ordinance 6-2026, and an ordinance implementing the moderate income revolving loan program and authorizing the city to enter into agreements with Oregon Housing and Community Services, OHCS.
Okay, so again, when we approved this the last time, there was, I believe, one line that was lost in translation from attorney to adoption. And when we went to go send this to OHCS, because that's the next step, they asked for a definition line and we could not find it. So all we're doing is adding language that some kind of definition that allows OHCS then so we can move forward in this process. Again, just kind of a housekeeping thing. Same concept.
I move to approve the reading by title only of ordinance 6-2026, an ordinance implementing the moderate income revolving loan program and authorizing the city to enter into agreements with the Oregon Housing and Community Services.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Mr. Hammond.
Cool. And ordinance 6-2026, an ordinance implementing the moderate income revolving loan program and authorizing the city to enter into agreements with Oregon Housing and Community Services.
I move to adopt ordinance 6-2026, an ordinance implementing the moderate income revolving loan program and authorizing the city to enter into agreements with the Oregon Housing and Community Services.
Second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Ordinance 7-2026, and an ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code, Title 8, Health and Safety, to amend Chapter 8.04, nuisances, and add Chapter 8.06, vegetative management.
Okay, so this is our addition to the municipal code. This is what was sent to the committee. The committee gave input. We brought it to the council. The council gave input. We had a workshop, again, getting input, and this is the final draft.
I move to approve the reading by title only of ordinance 7-2026, an ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code, Title 8, Health and Safety, to amend Chapter 8.04, nuisances, and add Chapter 8.06, vegetative management.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Staff member.
Just a moment. Can I confirm that that was an aye for no?
That,
Or n-
that was a no from
Okay.
Karen.
Thank you.
Then that would be a nay. Okay, so we have a one negative vote. Okay, staff member reads the title of the ordinance.
Ordinance 7-2026, an ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code Title 8, Health and Safety to amend Chapter 8.04 nuisances and add Chapter 8.06 vegetative management.
I move to adopt ordinance 7-2026, an ordinance amending the Boardman Municipal Code Title 8 Health and Safety to amend Chapter 8.04 nuisances and add Chapter 8.06 vegetative management.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion concerning this adoption?
Well, I guess this is Karen. And
Yes.
I think we discussed this and I haven't changed my mind about 6 inches because I measured my lawn this morning and it's like right at 3. So, and they just mowed it on Sunday. So I'm thinking 6 inches and only 7 days is way too, it's just too, it's going to be too hard to enforce. And it's just another rule to make us follow, I guess, is what I'm thinking. That I think 7 days is because we don't have enough people that can do this kind of work in our community.
Any other? Yes.
So just to clarify, 7 days is for residents. It's 14 for over an acre for large vacant lots, I believe. Is that correct, Junior? So 14 days for large vacant lots over an acre.
Okay. I just know that when I was there, that we would send out a sheet with all the people on it that were willing to mow and do yard work and do the big lots or the smaller lots. And you just could not. I don't care how hard you tried, you could not get enough people to do that kind of work for you to fit into that kind of a time frame. So if you're willing for me to say, I called so and so, and I've called him 3 times, then you can say, okay, so now you've got another 14 days or something. But this, I don't know. I'm just starting to think we're getting a little bit judicious here. How do you like that? Talk to you guys.
I like that terminology there, Mrs. Pettigrew.
So just to add to that, the whole point of this is to be compliance, not what's it called?
Fist and
Yeah. We're not coming down with the fist. It's supposed to be compliance. The 14 days just gives us some like real timelines. And then, like you said, Karen, if someone's like, hey, I've really tried, I've made an effort, they're like, okay, then let's continue to help you. But we're not going to keep going down where it's like 30 days and then we're going to cite you for 30 days and then you have another 30 days and then the season's over. I think that was the point of being more like, hey, and the other thing, and it might take a little bit, but this is year round. So they know it's coming. We'll do a reminder, but it's going to be a pretty brief reminder. Like, this is what we're doing in the city. And as long as we adhere to the expectations, I think they'll get used to it.
I add something. Sorry, go ahead, Brenda. I'll wait.
Ms. Profit.
Yes, I just wanted to say I did receive a couple of telephone calls from various people around the community who have property in town that's undeveloped at this time. And I wonder if it's because it doesn't take anything for my regular green lawn to grow to 6 inches if I don't do anything for 2 weeks. But is it a possibility when we're talking about these large pieces of property that 6 inches is a little too shallow? Like maybe 9 inches? Is there any consideration for that? Any thoughts?
14 inches for the larger parcels.
No.
14 days.
Can you say it again?
Oh,
I was just clarifying.
I was just clarifying a question, but I will say, just as a reminder, I think the basis of this was from a committee that was formed with regards to safety. I don't want to take your time.
No,
Sorry.
no, you're good. No, that's kind of what I was going towards is like, it wasn't like this wasn't discussed, and it really is probably more of a reaction to what happened last summer, and so that we can avoid something like that happen. And my belief is that if you own a large piece of property, you have the money to buy it, you probably have the money to maintain the property too. And if you don't, I mean, me personally, why would you own the property then? And not take care of it. And so, I mean, that's just me as, I'm homeowner too, and I have a little bit larger piece of property than some people, and I try to take time to maintain it all year round. So,
I was not able to attend the meeting in person, but I was able to listen a little bit via Zoom. And where I'm coming from is I think this is to get people who do nothing with their lots to try to work with them to get them to take care of their lots. And if we can get people to engage and try to work with the city on their lots, I think that's what we're trying to go. If you are an individual or an owner that does not do any communication and just not doing anything, then I think those are going to be the people who are going to be hammered on maybe the most. I mean, this is an open thing. We're trying to do what's best for the city. And I would hope people who are going to be affected by this will at least communicate with the city and try to figure out how can we make this better. Now we have something in place to be able to enforce it. That was where I was coming from. Any other comments? So we're still in discussion, correct? All right, so all in favor say aye.
I
Aye. Any opposed? By the same sign. That would be Mrs. Pettigrew.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, moving on to the action items, other business. Appoint the counselor, term ending December 31, 2026. So who do we have present? We have Chief Hughes.
So just before we begin, Mrs. Gonzalez has withdrawn her application, so she is not in consideration at this time. And Mr. Lazama, when he turned in his application, it was received at 6.
Okay, wash your hair.
The cutoff was 5 p.m. I did check with LOC and the attorney. The council set the parameters so they can also allow it to do the extension, but again, it would be a council decision. So before we go, we just need.
That's anyway, I was trying to find out who we have and who we don't have. So we need to decide with Mr. Lazama, since he was past the deadline, do we want to allow that or not allow that? I'm open up to discussion by the council members.
What has past practice been? Have we allowed it in the past?
don't know.
I would
Maybe it
say,
never happened.
I would say no, because we've never had it. I don't think it's ever happened that I am aware of.
Yeah.
So prior to Brandon and Amanda coming on, the past practice was we published a timeline, and to make it fair,
we did uphold it. And if somebody submitted something past the timeline, it was not presented to council because it was considered invalid.
That's kind of my thoughts, not that I don't want to discuss this individual or whatever, but if we set precedent and we start making exceptions, it probably opens it up, and then it'll probably get messy at some point, maybe not now, but maybe in the future. So I would say that we probably shouldn't allow it. That's all.
So are we going to vote on that? Do we vote on that, or do we consensus? Is that?
Consensus.
Okay, do we have a consensus that we probably should not allow the candidate to, and I can't see up there other than, yeah. So I think the consensus is not to allow that. So do we have Jose Ortiz here or online? I don't see Mr. Jose Ortiz up there. So Chief Michael Hughes, we have some couple questions for you, if you don't mind. Yeah, assuming the position.
I just popped it on for you. How's that? Test.
Yes.
Is it a push or pull? Says it's on. Yes.
It's a toggle switch.
Slide it forward, right? Okay. What am I doing wrong? He's nervous. It's all right.
The first test.
Not working. Batteries.
Oh, there we go.
There it goes.
They had you muted.
I'm clicking. I forgot about that.
Is that height good enough for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so I got three questions for you. And it is, first question number one, what do you see as the three most important issues facing our city over the next year to 18 months? And how would you help address them?
So the city's doing pretty well already, but I think we continue to address water and wastewater issues. That's number one. Number two, we continue to work on our road systems. And three, we bolster our police department. And the reason why I think these are all very important to the city is that keeps our community safe, keeps our community here, and hopefully starts drawing in some retail. By bringing in retail, then our community doesn't have to drive to Hermiston to get a haircut and those kind of things. And so that will kind of fade into the next question that you're going to ask. I was kind enough to get it, but how are you going to pay for those? So myself, I can't resolve those issues by myself. That's a council. And so I'd work closely with all of you as team members to address those issues and figure out ways to solve those issues. But I'll let you ask your next question so that I can answer how we're going to pay for that kind of stuff.
Okay. Given the city's limited tax base and budget, where would you prioritize increasing or reduce funding and why?
So I wouldn't argue for reducing funding, but what I would do is increase the funding to those areas that I specified. And by bringing in retail, you bring in more tax dollars to start paying for that stuff. The other thing I think as a council we should consider is a road tax or a gas tax that obviously we have to put that before the voters to approve. But I'm not talking about California 61 cents per gallon kind of thing. I'm talking about a few cents that our community can absorb, but all the hundreds of thousands of gallons that are being used from people traveling up this massive corridor, they help pay for our roads and our infrastructure. So I think that's something that's kind of out of the box, but a way that we could look at paying for some of road maintenance and that sort of thing. Make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Question number three, and I'm going to add a word in this.
Okay.
The council sometimes must make decisions that are unpopular with residents. Might be a word or two. How would you, in your current position as fire chief, communicate those decisions and respond to community concerns?
So I try to get out ahead of the issue and not try to play catch up with it. And just like your mission statement up there, I think being transparent, being honest, and explaining the problem early. So whatever that issue is, whether it's a safety issue or a legal issue, that we get out and we explain that ahead of time so that they're prepared for this unpopular decision. And I think we also have to acknowledge the fact that we're going to have an impact. We're making an impact by our decisions to the community. And we explain that we understand that. That instills trust in the council that, hey, we understand it, but in this particular case, our hands are tied because of a safety issue or a legal issue or that sort of thing. The other thing is in the face of criticism, you stay calm, right? And we're a unified front. So as a council person, if I didn't agree with whatever we voted on, and as soon as it's voted on, I'm on board 100% because we have to be a unified front, right? We're not always going to agree, but if we walk out the door as a unified front, whether we agreed or disagreed, then that earns our trust and respect as well. And then lastly, what I've learned is if you make a mistake, just own it. Because if I just say, hey, I made a mistake here, this is what I've learned from it, and this is why it won't happen again, that actually, in my experience, shuts down the conversation. What are they what's to argue? He admitted he made a mistake, he recognized it, and he has a solution to fix it so it doesn't happen again. So that's the answers to those questions.
Thank you. Does anybody have any other questions or comments that they would like to ask? Ms. Profit or Mrs. Pettigrew, do you have any comments or questions you would like to ask?
I thought maybe I could ask, the only question I could think of for anyone was, why do you want to be on the city council?
That's pretty easy. As you can tell, I think my actions and my leadership speak for itself. I'm deeply committed to this community. I think that my leadership would be valuable to the city as a whole. Because I have extensive knowledge in public meeting laws, executive session rules, budget law, it makes me a fast tracker. In other words, I won't have to catch up with what's going on. I know how the process works and I can catch up very quickly and don't have to be onboarded for a lack of better terms. So, and then honestly, I'm looking at retiring out of the fire service probably next June. That will give me exactly 40 years of sworn service. And then I'd like to still be able to give back to the community. So I think that's just another way to do it. I realize that this is just a fill-in until December. So if I was fortunate enough to get appointed, I'd have to run for election at that point. But that would give me a lot of experience and knowledge to be able to go out and campaign for that position.
Anything else? Ms. Pettigrew, do you have anything? All right. Anybody else here? Well, thank you. Thank you, Chief Hughes. All right, so we will go. Amanda, you want to explain how we decided we were going to do this?
Sure.
Or do you want me to?
It's up to you.
Okay. Amanda's going to tell us because she's got the tally sheet.
So I am going to call the counselor's name and you are going to tell me the candidate you would wish to vote for, and then we will go based on what the numbers are.
And we have two candidates to vote for.
We have two candidates. We have Mr. Hughes and Mr. Ortiz that are still in the running.
Okay.
Ready?
So we are going to say who we choose, and then after that will dictate who will be the winner.
Correct.
A winner or chosen. Okay,
Counselor Baumgartner,
Hughes.
Counselor Cuevas,
Hughes.
Counselor Pettigrew,
Hughes,
Counselor Prophet,
Hughes, Chief Hughes.
Counselor Rockwell,
Hughes.
Mayor Kiefer.
Chief Hughes.
Okay, we are 6-0.
All right, so do we have a sworn in sheet?
We do not. We will do that in the next
We,
but you appoint today.
we appoint, but haven't we done that
Yeah.
appointed and then swear them in?
At the same time.
We have.
And we have
That's
them,
how-
we have them come
And then they come up and sit?
I was not prepared for that today. I could not find a previous one to mimic. So I'm going on, we figure out who we're doing and then we'll appoint. Because we can appoint at any time, or we can swear in at any time. It does not have to be during a council meeting.
But you can't be on the, once you're approved to be on, then when do they take their position? When they're
So-
sworn in?
We can do it as soon as the next meeting. Like the beginning of the meeting, we can swear them in.
And then they,
And then they would sit at the dais with you. Yes.
okay. Okay, so we are at the a
We need,
motion.
yep,
I
a
was
motion to
looking for
appoint.
that.
I move to appoint Mike Hughes. Is it Mike or Michael?
Whatever.
Okay, Michael Hughes as a council member for the remainder of the term ending December 31st, 2026.
Second that.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I think for legal purposes, just clarification on the legal name.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right,
I say
sorry,
aye.
Chief Hughes.
Sorry.
You were, normally you would have been chosen, you would have come and taken the seat, but it'll be next council meeting.
No problem.
All right, so now we're at the next part, appoint a CREZ 2 alternate.
I move to appoint Heather Baumgartner as the alternate member of CREZ 2.
Do we have any other nominations?
I second that.
You can second it. Do we have any other nominations? Okay, I got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, there is no discussion. So all in favor say aye.
I
Oh.
did have one
Okay,
for discussion.
Yes.
Because we're gonna potentially have another one. So because we recently voted for Hughes, but he's not up here, would he be somebody that we could
Still appoint.
still appoint as a CREZ member?
I would
As-
say yes.
As long as the next meeting for CREZ is not prior to him being sworn in. But again, as I said, we can swear him in at any time.
Or you were saying, oh,
No, we were just getting
voting.
ready to
Yep.
vote.
Yep.
Okay, so we're still in discussion. Because there is a CREZ 2 and a CREZ 3. Okay. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And the Baumgartner will be CREZ 2. So we need to go to appoint a CREZ 3 member.
I move to appoint Michael Hughes as member of CREZ 3.
Do we
I'd
have
like to be
any?
considered for the CREZ 3 position. I've been the alternate. I've been attending all the meetings.
Okay, so we have Brenda and we have Chief Hughes. Okay,
So,
any other?
sorry. I'll
No,
wait until
Go
discussion.
ahead. Any other?
I just have a discussion point.
Okay, so we have a discussion. So we have two, I need a second. and then we can go into discussion.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's good. Well, you made the motion.
Sorry. Sorry, that was my fault.
The motion was for, Mr. Hughes.
And so do you feel comfortable on adding Hughes and
Well-
Brenda?
Yes. So do I need to amend that?
That's what, yeah, I'm just asking if you would amend
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. And I would like to amend adding Brenda Profit. Did I do that correctly?
As a member,
As a member of CREZ 3,
So we have two candidates.
so that we have two candidates.
so what you read was you move to appoint.
Okay, so,
So we can only appoint one.
so then I need to rescind my,
You would need to rescind your
Rescind my
motion
motion then.
and make a nomination. You would
Okay.
like to nominate.
okay, I would like to nominate Mike Hughes
Good.
and Brenda Profit to be a member of CREZ 3.
What are you thinking?
You can only pick one.
Right. So we're gonna nominate and then, oh, that's gonna throw in a kink as well, isn't there? Well,
Nobody seconded it, so it doesn't matter.
correct. No. So I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it, so we don't have to have two votes.
Well, I was gonna bring up a point. I don't know if we can yet. So if Brenda gets picked, we would need an alternate. That's what I was gonna bring up. So if she got picked, we would need an alternate still. And that's not on here.
Okay, so you would be nominating Brenda as the member and then Mr. Hughes as the alternate.
That's what I would consider.
That's Mrs. Pettigrew. You have
Okay.
the floor, Ms. Pettigrew.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's what you need to be doing is she is already an alternate. And I would suggest that you move her up to the seat at the table and Chief Hughes go as the alternate. I think that, I think it would get a little bit sticky if where he is, usually gets some of the funds that the CREZ doles out, that it's just easier if he's an alternate and knows what's going on there.
Well, and it doesn't exclude him from meetings either.
No,
Like alternates can still attend. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your motion. Is that the motion or we're discussing the motion?
Okay, so I
Aren't
need
we?
to start over?
Sure. Then
Since
because
we didn't second, okay.
Now you could appoint.
Yes.
Okay, so I move to appoint Brenda Profit as a member of CREZ 3. And do I need to add, okay, and add Michael Hughes as the alternate of CREZ 3?
Okay, so we had a motion and a second. We kind of did everything backwards. We did doing the discussion before the motion, but we got to the end result. Is there any other discussion or input?
No, I'll second that.
Oh, I thought we had a second.
We
We
finally
had-
got an official motion.
We hadn't
Yeah.
said.
So
I
we
jumped the
jump.
gun. Okay,
Yes.
so I got a motion and a second.
Yes.
No discussion. Is there any discussion?
Hey, at least I know how Chris runs.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right, congratulations to Brenda for being the member, the voting member, and Chief Michael Hughes as the alternate. Going on to OLCC license, Wasted Wheels. Whoa. What it says.
Just real quick.
101
For
South.
clarification, I think it might be easier. Marta was looking up, so in our charter, it would probably be easier for now just to have Brenda be CREZ 3. When Chief Hughes is officially on as a council, then you can have him sworn in
Voted
as an alternate. I think it
Okay.
just is a little cleaner that way. Yeah,
So do we need to remove?
however
what
we
just
redo
did?
that.
Do we need to undo what we just did? Okay, so
Okay, so hold on, bear with
Why
me.
we swear in? I'm not frustrated. Okay, keep going.
So because we've made a motion, we voted, it's official. So we would need to rescind the motion
And just do Brenda.
and just do Brenda.
Okay, so you ready? So I will rescind my motion to appoint Brenda Profit as a member of CREZ 3 and Michael Hughes as an alternate. Okay, that's it.
So we need to rescind. So now we need the same person that seconded to vote, to second that. So
Second that
Christine,
or to rescind that?
to second it.
Okay, to second. I will second that.
And now we need the vote,
To rescind it, correct?
the vote to rescind.
Okay.
So we're now voting on to rescinding the original vote. All in favor, say aye to rescind. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Are there any nays? Anyone? I would say no. Okay.
So we
Now we're
start
going
over
to
again.
go, yes.
Okay, I move to appoint Brenda Profit as a member of CREZ 3, period.
I'll second that. Is there any discussion, since we've had a lot of discussion about it, to try to get to the right place? And that's why we get paid this big bucks,
That's right.
okay? And since there's no discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Anyone oppose? All right. I think we've done our duty on that one.
Yes.
Thank you. The OLCC license.
So this is simply a step in the process. This is our past practice is the council authorizes Chief Stokoe to complete the OLCC. I've attached the guidelines in there. It's very limited of what you can, not, or like why you would decline. So again, that's all.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move to authorize Police Chief Stokoe to complete the OLCC local government recommendation for a liquor license for Wasted Wheels.
And I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion about the liquor license request?
So my only discussion would be when I looked at the plans that they drew out. What?
Right.
Is it going to be inside and outside? That's what it kind of looked like to me. And then the only barrier from outside was going to be flags. What it looked like on the drawings to me. I'm just going by what the drawings are.
Oh,
So my only concern is if it's going to be inside and outside on a major street.
correct. And that is not based
Okay.
in the, right? That's not in the,
Well, I'm just asking the question.
correct. And that wouldn't, I mean, that's something totally separate than this.
Carla?
So if we might, we should ask Carla because I've been working with her and several other department heads on this issue, and Carla had a meeting and probably could better address some of these questions.
Thank you. That was my only concern. Not that I'm opposed to it. That was just my concern. That's it.
No,
Well,
and again, wait, Carla, just a second, Carla. The only thing is like, we really are just considering a license approval. We're not talking about their plans. We're not talking about how they're set up. I mean, that's just the distinction. That would be that's a separate, we're
But
just saying,
wouldn't-
hey, can they
wouldn't that-
get a liquor license? That's all we're saying. We're not saying you approve the plan of what they do or anything
But
like that.
wouldn't that be important to know if you're trying to approve this?
It really is not. The one things, and again, in that list, if you pull up that list, it's very specific. Like you can decline based on, yeah, like it's based on the applicants.
But I think that we should at least have some due diligence and
And again, that's
for the public's concern.
correct, but
That's all.
correct, yeah. But it's just not how the system's set up. Now, when it comes to like doing the planning portion, that's a totally different, that will go to the city. Like for them to get approval to do what they want to do, that's something different. We're just talking about a liquor license.
I see Juan up there with a hand raised. Juan,
Yeah, hi everybody.
hi there.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. So I'm actually the one wanting to start Wasted Wheels. If I can have a couple minutes to kind of explain a little bit more about the question Mr. Rockwell had.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let me introduce myself. So my name is Mr. Llamas, Juan Llamas. I'm here to present my small business, Wasted Wheels, which would be a stationary beer cart concept that I'm proposing to operate in Boardman. I want to start by saying that this community means a lot to me. I've been a Boardman resident since I was a kid, and every year I run a youth soccer camp alongside Riverside High School to give back to the community that raised me. The project is another way for me to invest back into Boardman in a positive and responsible way. I'm currently a behavior specialist at McKay High School here in Salem, where I support students daily. I'm their soccer coach, and I'm also an assistant coach for a semi-pro team here in Salem as well. Wasted Wheels is a small controlled beer service setup, not a bar or nightclub. It will be a stationary trailer with 8 taps serving beer and Prosecco only. There will be no hard alcohol. The focus is to create a relaxed, family-friendly environment that complements the food pod atmosphere. The setup includes a clearly defined beer garden using anchor posts with shade cells enclosed with physical barriers. All alcohol consumption will stay within that designated area, and the signage will be very clearly posted to prevent drinks from leaving the space. We will be strictly checking IDs and following all OLCC regulations. Our hours of operations will be Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. This is intended to be a daytime and early evening environment, not a late night operation. The business is designed to support the local economy. It will bring additional foot traffic to nearby food vendors, create local jobs, and provide a safe and social gathering space for residents and visitors. From an operational standpoint, we are focused on safety, cleanliness, and accountability. We will maintain the space daily, manage waste properly, and ensure that all service practices meet state and local requirements. My goal is to create something that fits Boardman, something that is responsible, community-oriented, and adds value without creating problems. I'm happy to answer any questions and provide any additional information you may need. And I just want to say thank you guys for the time you guys have given me.
Hey, thanks, Juan.
Thank you, Juan.
And I'm here to answer any questions if you guys had any other ones.
Are there any questions concerning the application of the OLCC license? No one has any questions for you, Juan. You're off the hook.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, you bet.
And good to see you guys.
Yes, you as well.
So I'll entertain a motion.
We already did.
Oh,
And we seconded, I just
then we're
wanted
in
to get to the
discussion.
discussion. That was it.
any other discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm an aye.
Or oppose or for the approval?
I'm approving.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. So the OLCC license will be approved to Wasted Wheels.
So question for clarification. You have 3 options. You can grant, you can acknowledge, or you can deny. So in your approval, are you granting or are you acknowledging?
The specific motion that was made was to authorize Chief Stokoe
So we're directing you now, right? Is that what you're
Correct.
asking?
complete the OLCs.
I would.
Right.
I
Those
would
are the
vote
3
to
options.
grant or say I would grant. That is mine.
The 3 options that I have are to grant, to acknowledge, or deny.
I think we move to grant.
You move to approve.
To authorize.
Authorize to complete though for a leak.
To complete the OLCC.
Isn't that not what you need to do?
So the recommendation that we have before us is you guys authorizing the police chief to do the next step, which is the recommendation to be completed by the local government. This criteria falls within the as we attached in the packet, that denial criteria. So the background check basically against the company to see if there are any legal issues. So the criteria until we have that. So what you guys get to do is say, yep, go ahead and do the local recommendation.
Isn't that what we did?
That is what
Oh,
you
okay.
did.
Oh,
That is
okay.
what you did. So based on the information that Chief Stokoe gets in the background check is where we would grant or deny.
Or acknowledge.
It's either no recommendation, neutral, or deny or grant.
It's almost like we're doing an extra step. Like we should have just had Chief do the background. Then it comes to you like, hey, there's no, I did the background, I looked at it. And again, it just happens so rare that we do that. But this has been the past practice. And Hermiston does this same format. But Chief is going to go do a background. And then if the background passes, then it moves on.
Does Juan understand that process? Is Juan aware of that process so he knows the next step that's going to happen?
Yes, and if you need any clarification, so let's just tell you that, let's say you guys denied.
Well, we're not denying. I thought we were approving.
I'm just trying to explain it.
Oh, gotcha.
You can deny the permit and OLCC can still issue the permit. So it's a recommendation coming from the city. Either yes, we support it, no, we don't, or yes, we know it's happening, but we have no input. So that's why they have the options that they do. Not to make it muddier.
Right. So basically, we're on the same page that we're accepting. We're in favor of this. Okay. That's where I thought we were at. Okay. We'll wait for the piece to come to you, from you.
So once
Right?
once
There's
it
not
gets-
another
Nope,
piece?
there's
once it
not
gets
another
done,
step.
we're done.
Okay.
Not today.
Yep.
I'm- Okay. Going to the next thing. We are at other public comment. Thank you. Public comment period is an essential part of our local government meetings, and our council takes community input into consideration. However, in observance of Oregon open meeting laws, this isn't the time for dialogue, but rather a time for us as council to listen to you. Our city manager will direct staff to follow up with you regarding your comments or questions. Anyone may speak on a topic on any topic other than a matter in litigation, a quasi-judicial land use matter, or a matter scheduled for a public hearing at some future date. Each person has, it says 3 minutes to speak. When your name is called, proceed to the podium and speak clearly into the microphone. Begin by stating your name and address, and then express your view or offer your suggestions in a courteous and considerate manner. Remember to direct all remarks and questions to the council through the mayor. It is not appropriate to address the audience or the staff directly. Also, if there's anyone online who wishes to have public comment, all you need to do is raise your hand and then follow the same guidelines as far as our public comment. Mrs. Tallman, you are up.
Is this on? Okay. My name is Cheryl Tallman, 706 Southwest Mount Hood Avenue, Boardman, Oregon. My comment tonight is I'm really happy with Main Street. It is really a nice addition to our town. It is so nice when I pull up to Kincaid and swoop around to get onto Main Street. And I'm also recognizing the fact that it was mentioned tonight that a voice does matter. I am here on behalf, again, of the Farmers Cup. I am also speaking as a mother, a local business owner, and someone who cares deeply about Boardman in this community. I'm asking that my comments tonight be included clearly and fully in the public record. I spoke before when the city was considering the Parks Master Plan, and I want to repeat something important. There are people in this community who feel unheard, discouraged, and pushed aside. That is sad because people look to their city council for fairness, transparency, and truthfulness. When the public record does not fully reflect what is being said or what people are asking for, it damages trust. My husband and I did not build the Farmers Cup just to run another business. We wanted it to be a place that reflected who we are and where we come from, a place to share local produce, welcome people in, serve our community, and create something positive for Boardman that tied together family, hard work, and the land we have cared for over the years. We wanted it to be a gathering place with a purpose, a place where people could stop, connect, and feel the heart behind what we built. That is why this is painful. This was never just property on a map to us. It was part of our family's future and something we hoped we'd continue serving the community in a meaningful way. My family has tried for a long time to resolve the matter in writing and in good faith. The city previously issued a letter of intent regarding our property, but that letter was expressly non-binding and contingent on grant funding. My request tonight is simple. If the city is serious, then please make a binding written offer in good faith so this matter can be resolved before it escalates further. My son wants to move on with his life and not live in Boardman any longer. We do not want to stand in the way of growth, but we give no choice to. We understand that this region is under pressure from major development and that Morrow County is being discussed as a major area for additional data centers acreage. So I'm sure you've seen this on Facebook where there's going to be 4,000 more acres that will have data centers in Morrow County. But growth does not justify silence, confusion, or unresolved dealings with local families and businesses. Growth should be handled openly, lawfully, and fairly. So tonight, I respectfully urge the city to do the right thing, put the truth in the record, communicate clearly in writing, and make a real binding good faith offer like we ask in the attached good faith offer that we gave to the city last time. And I hope this is what the city wants. And I'd like these to be part of the record, added to the record. Okay. I guess I'm supposed to speak.
You can go ahead and give it to Amanda. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Was there anybody else online that was wanting to have public comment? All right. So we'll move on. Our reports and correspondence and discussion, that is all in your packet. We're not going to talk about that at the city council tonight due to constraints for what we have going on. So we're going to go down to counselor comments. Are there any counselor comments that people wanted, any counselors wanted to share? You want yours? Everybody else doesn't get theirs, but you get yours. Okay.
Sound okay?
Mr. Hammond.
Okay, so we'll go right into this. So the first thing is the water rate. I think we are at a great spot with that. The only clarification that I have is what guidance are we doing with the schools and churches? As it was presented, what is in your packet and what was discussed at the workshop is that in July, the school rate would go to 0.39, and then it would go up to 0.50 in a year, 0.61, and then in 30, they would be the same as residential and commercial. That's the only thing that we did not have clarity on. So I just need some clarity on that. And then Amanda is going to take some notes.
Let me see.
We need to discuss this now.
Yeah, I would say that if there's any discussion,
yep,
feel free. how long does everybody else take to get to the same?
Yeah, 5 years. Yep.
So everyone, it takes 5 years for every entity
The
to
way
catch
it's,
up?
yep, the way it's set up.
So my only concern is, I have heard, I brought this up the last time, is just, it seems like a lot of the youth, activities happen on school grounds.
Mhm.
And recently, it seems like they were not allowed to use other city, potentially city property, or parks. And so they're using the schools.
Oh, are we talking flag football thing? Yeah, and that was, I mean, yeah, total misunderstanding. We do
Could
not,
be misunderstanding, but
yes,
I'd like the clarification.
yeah.
Because, again, if we, as a community, we're using that, right? We're consistently using that. I think that it is something to consider, but it doesn't mean that we need to, not adjust the rates, but I think it is something that you need to consider, because if you have those entities that are paying for that at the same rate, one, that's going to increase the cost. They're going to end up either saying, no, you can't use ours unless you pay a fee, or that green space is going to go away.
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm pretty involved with youth stuff in general, and I would say that the schools are pressed, like compared to other areas. I go all over, and a lot of the schools are being used accordingly, but um, over time, those, the bond pass, we're gonna get all these new things at the school or whatever, and how long before it gets run down because it's the only space available to be used. And then we're gonna charge more on this, and then you pass that on to youth athletics or youth activities or whatever, and you're just, I don't know, I feel like it's a double tax on our community already. I feel like we need to be good stewards with the schools and the churches.
And just to clarify, then I mean, and all we're doing is we would be subsidizing for them so that the schools wouldn't be paying, the rest of the community would be paying for the schools and churches. Because someone has to pay for it. And again, we've talked about that, but
Well, why can't
And that's
we
all we're
figure out
saying.
how much
I mean,
water
you
they
guys choose
use and figure
whatever.
out what that subsidization would be and figure out if that's cost effective. I feel like that's in my opinion, a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I think they should be changed. If we're gonna charge everybody, everybody gets charged. If that's what we're gonna do, and I think we're gonna go down a rabbit hole if we're gonna pick and choose who doesn't have to pay or who's subsidized, because we have entities who don't pay that will have to pay.
And again,
That hasn't even been brought up, of people who don't pay or businesses that don't pay.
and one of the thoughts that was shared is, yes, the city would begin to start paying on their water. I mean, it's moving money around, but it would be, we would meter what is done at the parks and the city would pay into the water fund.
If we have the
Correct.
money available, why not though?
Correct. Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
But our city hasn't reached the point like other communities where schools charge other activities to use their property.
Yeah.
We have
it's
not,
coming.
we have not reached that. And I don't think the water, charging them for water is going to make
Well,
that.
I
I think the use of their facilities and things is going to, and if it's using their fields, they're gonna have to water it anyway. So if the water isn't gonna be the issue, it's going to be the maintenance on the facilities that is gonna be the issue. And if, people don't take care of, it's the overuse. So big cities, Bend, Portland, those big municipalities who have lots of youth requests, they have to charge because they don't have a way to keep up with the maintenance.
Well, in discussions with the schools recently, I think that's gonna change real quick.
Well, then they need to use
Because-
better management of their CREZ
Well,
money.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with CREZ. It has to do with the fact that they just don't have money. Like we had to cut our budget pretty well this year. And I'm just only speaking about my own program and what I know about other programs. And now we're to the point where we're gonna probably lean towards going back to pay to play. And I know what it was like coaching when we had pay to play, and it wasn't a good thing.
Pay to play right now is paid by the
I
BCDO.
understand that, but kids come out for sports, and when it gets pushed back on the parents, which that's exactly what'll happen, you're gonna see less kids involved, and I think that's a bad thing for our town in general.
Well, I see there's a hand up there, but I struggle having to pay full and other entities don't. I think we should try to strive to an equity base. Mrs. Pettigrew, I see your hand raised.
Well, you know how I feel probably about this, because I think that the schools, we should continue with giving them a discount. And because they generate, they're a taxing agency just like we are. And I think we're getting away from and every time you do a survey, everybody always says, well, I want to keep the small town atmosphere that we've always had. But now we're starting to say, okay, I'm really happy you've got a small town atmosphere, but I'm going to take you to the bank every time we need money. And if Boardman was broke, or we absolutely needed this 28 cents, I probably could go for it. But I'm sorry, we have enough money that we can be helpful to some of and I think the churches and the schools, we're not setting a new precedence. We've done this for probably 40 years or 15 years. So you can't say that we're starting to set something new. We're just continuing with a good neighbor agreement that we've had for a long time. So that's my comment.
Yes, Ms.
I do agree with Paul. This is a 5-year increase, and that allows them to budget for it and figure out where certain things need to be cut and certain things need to be added to. But I do believe that everybody needs to pay the same.
We're getting bigger.
Yes.
I mean, and as we continue to get better, we can't rely that we passed a bond with people thinking that that's going to cover all our infrastructure. No, it's not going to cover our future infrastructure. We need to start thinking ahead to prepare for as we maintain our infrastructure. I don't want to raise our rates any more than we have to, but if we're going to raise them, then everybody needs to pay their fair share. I'm sorry, that's just the way. I'm going to be required to pay my fair share, and if I don't like the fair share, then I get to decide how much I'm going to water. That's my right as a, so are there consequences? Probably consequences in everything. But I just think we have people, then, I just think just needs to be equity. I do care that we've done it before, but maybe it's time to change. And if we do a 5-year plan and it's not working, well, then we need to take a look at our 5-year plan and reevaluate it.
Couldn't we do that already? I mean, if it's really,
well, then we could.
What I'm saying is 5 years down the road, even a year down the road, we could adjust and be like, okay, the schools need to pay their fair share, or we need to adjust this or whatever. Couldn't we do the same thing?
The way Andy explained it in the workshops, I have in the back of my head, it takes several years to see what is the impact.
So at 5 years, we could come back and readdress this, whoever's on the board, and
absolutely.
And like, okay, we can't afford to have them,
Yep.
paying a lesser rate. I'm just saying, in the matter of, they're dealing with the budget crisis just like all the other school districts are, and they're making cuts like crazy. Why make it worse for them until they have time to figure it out? They're not done making cuts. So, again, just my opinion, that's all.
We just haven't heard from Brenda.
I don't see
Mayor
her hand.
Kiefer. Mayor Kiefer.
Yes,
I wonder if it would be better to look at it in 5 years after we see how much they've been charged, as opposed to not charging them. I sort of feel like as a taxing district, I'm already paying my taxes to the school district, as are all the other members of this county. And I'm paying my taxes to the city of Boardman. Why is the city of Boardman subsidizing a taxing district? You could almost see it for a church or something that doesn't have incoming taxes, but yeah, but I'm not even in favor of that. I actually feel like that it's a taxing district ourselves. We should not be operating on the idea that we're giving breaks to other taxing districts. It'd be like saying, well, the fire department doesn't have to water their lawn and pay for it either, because they're the fire department and we want them to have green lawn. And I understand the idea of sports and children and those kinds of things, but if I've already paid my tax dollars for that service, why am I paying it twice? That's
Thank you,
just my
Brenda.
thoughts.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate the consistency and how you guys are right down the middle. That really is nice. So, I mean, whatever, I mean, the plan was to bring this in May for approval to take effect in July, which gives, again, businesses time to budget it. I've talked to a few people, like expect at least a 10%, and I don't want to say percent, but expect some increase in this first shot is that.
Have we talked to the schools?
I have.
And what are their thoughts?
Oh, I mean, nothing. I just said expect that. Like it could be up to 10, but. I mean, one way to look at this is right now it is, again, the concept is different in the fact that we are taking away the 7,000. I was talking with someone and it really is a water conservative approach. Okay. Like we are looking to be a little more conservative with our water. And we have good water supply here. We also need to be maybe responsible. And I can't emphasize this enough to everyone. And we've been talking about this for several months, which is great. We're talking 20 years. It's going to take us 20 years. And right now we may have plenty, but there may be a time that we won't have plenty, and just being ready for that. So it's nice to say, hey, we're all good right now, but we're trying to get ready like long term. And again, it's going to take us 20 years to get to that point, but who knows? I mean, like I said, I mean, the whole point is you want to be consistent for the next several years, and then, yeah, let's readjust. So do we want to go and say, okay, we're going to at least do it for 3. This is what we're doing. Let's see how it goes. And then readjust there, something. But
So concerning the water rate, where you have to go back to, where are we at with that now? Are we just coming back with a
no, just some guidance,
I
guidance.
mean, so that when you can come back next month, you're gonna have something.
I mean, it is, I mean, you guys, there was nothing else about residential and commercial, right? And it sounds like we still want to keep churches and schools together, at least for now. I mean, I don't hear anything about just splitting them up. And there is that gradual approach. I mean, you're talking 39 cents to 50 cents to 61 cents. And actually in 3 years, they are paying the same as residential at 61 cents. And then at the end of 5, residential, commercial, and schools and churches are all the same. So if we were just to say, for the next 3 years, if we were to do that, you're at 39 cents, then 50 and 61. Let's see what happens. I mean, that is an approach to do, because this is not like wheels coming off and holy cow, we're doing huge numbers. The numbers we did it was like $1, right?
So basically, the only people that are going to increase or have the change are going to be businesses.
No, everyone has an increase. Like even though our residence is 50 cents and the fixed rate is 16.50, there still will be a little increase. But
So the only ones that's not changing are schools and churches.
the schools and churches, they are currently,
No, I thought you were asking us if that's the direction you want us.
well, no, I'm saying you do what it is proposed right there, that
Well, we're kind of split on that.
the 1,
What
2,
I
and
saw was
3.
three
And so
three.
my compromise would say, let's do it for 3 years, what is proposed, and then see what happens. Because I think schools and churches right now are 28 cents.
Top of my head.
And what would it increase them to?
And then it goes to 39 cents. But what the difference is, it's going to be like the fixed rate is different because it's based on their meter size. And I would not know what the,
The school's gonna have a larger meter, so their base rate's gonna be equivalent to the meter size.
yeah.
Your general residence with a 5.75, it's 17.33 now. It'll go to 16.50.
Correct. So they're, yeah.
And then you pay per 1,000 gallons without that 7,000 gallons front loaded, because as we talked about before, that doesn't go forward in the right way, right? We more water you use, it's not good for consumption.
If I might, I seem to recall that we're the only town in the county that's giving the school district a break on their water. Is that correct?
Correct.
So I'm not sure that we should be that concerned about that. I mean, they're used to paying a higher water rate everywhere. And here in Boardman, they could probably manage that as well.
I do know that in Oregon, wish I had someone here, Matt. They use irrigated water on some areas, so they try to use that as much. And I don't know if that's done in Heppner as well.
Yeah, they got 2 water sources there.
Something like that. And they try.
Water district, and then they have
Yep.
city.
And then in
irrigation
Heppner,
district.
the fields that are not school owned, they don't pay. So they don't own the football field. So they do not pay water on that. It is the fair board that pays for that. But
So they have different options is what you're saying, but Boardman doesn't.
Boardman, we just do the discounted rate for everything. Whereas in other places, if they can tap into irrigation water, great. If they don't own it, then they don't.
So the school district has some options that they can do to save themselves money.
They do in the other locations, correct?
And irrigation, if you're going through the irrigation board here in Morrill County, that's not a free service.
Not, but it's pretty cheap.
Is it? Because it doesn't sound like it when you ask the regular landowner.
It's cheaper than, well, it's
5 times as much as I do.
Yeah.
my understanding was that the city water in Oregon was far more expensive, and
He's not in the city limits, he's out of the county, he pays $750 for 3 months worth of water.
for 3 months.
That's it? I pay more
Yeah.
You pay
for
more.
irrigation.
He has a smaller acreage than you do probably.
Yeah. My understanding was the Oregon city water was far more expensive, and that's why people went back to the irrigation district after they went to city, because it was too much money.
Yeah. And there's, systems.
Mrs. Pettigrew.
You know, I was thinking about, do we know if they're going to build a new gymnasium at the riverside, is it going to be on part of the lawn area? What in our new ideas about what's going to happen at Riverside, will there be lawn taken up in building spaces and parking lots that aren't, because they might be able to keep their adjusted water rate, you know, if they're starting to build on green grass? Does anybody understand what I'm saying?
Yes, can I add to that? So I've seen some rough designs of what they're planning on. So I believe they're expanding 5 classrooms on the backside, over where you turn around to go to the back of the building. But the gym itself is going to be somewhat at an angle behind the current gym towards the hill. So they're taking out a portion of that hillside. And then parking lot, there's going to be some parking lot expansion, but there's going to be some grass added in some certain spots and different, like more of a feature or something like that. Again, rough estimates of what it's doing, but that's what I saw today. So
I'd like to revisit after 3 years.
So I'll bring that to that point, just having like a 3-year, that it'll be set for the 3. Cool. The other thing, and again, my hope was that you have read the code 116 and the 120, and that is the attorney looked at it, kind of threw some stuff, and was there anything blaringly that stood out? Because that is the concept that we're moving towards. We're moving towards having the hearing officer. Again, the ultimate goal is compliance. So it's not, what does it say on top? It doesn't say compliance. It says, enforcement. It's not about enforcement. We're going to change that to compliance. So it's code compliance. We don't want to have to go to the hearing officer, but that is where it would be. And again, hearing officer is in-house. And then if you want to appeal a hearing officer, it would go to circuit court. Okay. But again, it's all about compliance. It gives us, to Karen's point, it gives us as a city the freedom, like, hey, we told you that you're out of compliance. Do you agree or not agree? Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's work on that. And that is us. Like, that is not scripted. We can have that freedom. So once we have that agreement, like, okay, you can't do it in 14. Okay, what's holding you back? What can we work through? We have all of that freedom, and that is more stated in there in the 116 and the 120. But all I was looking for on that, is there anything that you're like, wow, I don't like that at all? Take that back to the attorney. Because again, it was just a rough draft, but if there's no input, again, we'll take it. We'll, again, in-house talk about it. But we're hoping sooner than later to get that in, because that is out of all the things that we do with the code, that is where it's going to be the trigger, being able to work through these things. Cool. That's all I got.
All right.
So are you going to change all the places where it says compliant to from enforcement to compliance?
Yeah,
Or-
I mean, the title for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, the title for sure, compliance, but I'd have to see the exact wordings. But no, the focus is about being more compliant and not the hammer. And the attorney built in specific language that was open-ended that allowed the city to have that, like, oh, okay, we're going to go work with you. But then at the same time, it's like, oh, you don't think you're in a disagreement? Well, I believe you are based on this, this, and this. And then you can go through the process a little quicker compared to in the past, it was 30 days and then 30 days and then go to court. And so.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, we'll go to council comments. Anyone have any councilor comments?
I do. So I did want to just request that if we have a workshop, and especially if Mayor Kiefer is not going to be there, that the guidelines be available so that it runs smoother. Like we do for
how to run the
meetings.
meeting.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
All right, what's rough?
For an experienced person,
I got you.
but when I'm told that day, 5 minutes before.
That you're going to be running the meeting. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other councilor comments? Okay, I have no mayor comments, so we'll go right to the executive session. Executive session, Boardman City Council will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192.6602I, which allows the council to review and evaluate the employment-related performance of the chief executive officer of any public body, a public officer, employee, or staff member who does not request an open hearing. The public virtual Zoom meeting link will be closed during the executive session as permissible. Executive session meetings are not subject to House Bill 2560. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session in person. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or anything said about these subjects during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session. The executive session is expected to last probably not more than 30 minutes, I would imagine. Action is planned after we resume the council meeting. So this council meeting is paused. Okay, we'll resume our meeting from our executive session. Is there a motion or not a motion?
I don't have a sample because I wasn't sure what you guys were going to be doing.
We'll wing it if we're going to make a motion.
I move to approve City Manager Hammond's evaluation and to continue his employment for another year.
I second that.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion we'd like to have? All right, all in favor say aye.
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 I
Is there,
had a question, but I couldn't respond fast enough.
okay,
Will City Manager Hammond be receiving a raise?
I will read off what is going to happen. A 5% employer contribution to deferred compensation, 40 hours of additional sick leave, a 12-month severance provision, and granting 3 hours per week of designated exercise time of his choice.
What is exercise time?
Exercise time where he can, if he so chooses, he can go to the gym here at the rec center. That is something that is a very positive thing for employers to have.
Okay.
So, and I think that was everything.
Okay.
So we will need to complete the vote for this motion to continue
Include.
employment, and then we'll need to do a second motion for those items.
Oh, gotcha.
I think we already did the all in favor, say aye, and then
We were starting it and she,
We'll do another vote.
that would be great.
So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone oppose? Okay, so we'll go with our second motion to approve or deny the request of compensation.
I move to approve City Manager Hammond's written requests as presented in the executive session.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Ms. Prophet, did you have any other discussion?
No, I don't. It might be a point of order that in order for it to be a matter of record, if you've read everything that's in there for his compensation request, then it's a moot point. But if there was anything that was done in executive session about that salary thing that's not already been read, then, but if you read it all, then we're all good.
Yes,
I'm good.
that is everything that we discussed.
Okay, perfect.
So we're done with, we're doing discussion. No.
Seconded.
Seconded. Now we're ready to vote.
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is there any opposed? Okay. There's nothing else. This meeting is adjourned.
Good night.
Thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Ms. Pettigrew.
Thank you.